Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, January the 30th, 2026. And this week I have the full recording of our webinar that we held earlier this week announcing our Forex Trade Alert Service. So here's the thing. If you've ever followed a trade alert service before and wondered, okay, I see the trade, but why this trade? Then this webinar is for you. In this session, we as they say, pull back the curtain on a brand new Forex Trade Alert service that's led by our lead coach, Darko, who's been consistently profitable for over 8.5 years. Okay, not months, years, not hype, real, repeatable results. And this isn't just a typical, buy here, sell there, good luck kind of alert service. Darko walks you through exactly what he sees, how he reads price, and why each trade makes sense. Or the trade management part of it too. He walks you through all of that kind of stuff using a strict rules-based approach that's fully taught inside our members area. Now on top of that, he delivers a pre-market analysis video. That's what we call a PMA video, twice every single week. And as I say in the webinar, you hear me say that in 8.5 years, he has never ever missed one of his PMA videos. That alone is like pretty crazy. In any event, in this webinar, you're going to see exactly what's included, how the service works, and whether this kind of structured skill-building approach is right for you. All right, and one more important heads up. The webinar special pricing that you'll see towards the end of the video expires February the 8th, 2026, and after that, the prices will go up. And as always, the best value, as you'll see, is reserved for traders willing to commit long term. If you're serious about becoming a consistently profitable trader, this is one of the most valuable hours that you can invest. So I hope you enjoy the webinar. And please reach out if you have any questions, and I'd be more than happy to help out. Okay, well, listen, let's get her started here. Big welcome to everybody here. And it's just so nice to have you all with us. It's actually, I was talking with Darko the other day, it's been a really long time since we've hosted a webinar. And this is a very special one. And it's a special one. And make sure, by the way, you can see the cursor on my screen, Vic Young. I want to make sure that this is actually recording. I've done that before where I didn't turn my screen on. Okay, good. A special one because we're going to be introducing you to Darko's trading advisory service, which in effect is an alert service. One of the great things about Darko's alert service that diverges from other alert services is that, he doesn't just say buy here, sell there, move your stop here and do all that. Darko teaches and explains the reasoning behind the trades. So in other words, he's both giving you a fish and teaching you how to fish. And Darko's going to come on shortly. He's going to give you more details about the service. But I would say this, if you've been struggling with your trading, this approach to learning should be very, very helpful because you can actually cut the learning curve down dramatically when you see the training content applied in real time, the way that Darko does it in his pre-market analysis videos, what we call his PMA videos. So just before we get Darko on, I have a couple of things to take care of before we do that. First of all, I want to direct your attention to our social media. Here's all the links, and I would particularly recommend that you listen to the podcast. Go to this link here, this podcast. They are really cool. And the reason for that, it's about mentorship, okay? And look, we're not the only game in town when it comes to mentors, or people teaching you about trading. Go to YouTube, you can find all sorts of stuff. But however, it is super, super important that you do some due diligence, check out who it is that you're entrusting both your money and your time with. I'm constantly shocked and amazed at how easily people will get sucked into the ridiculous claims that some of these so-called gurus make on YouTube. It's pretty unfair. I'm really sensitive to it because I was once a futures and commodities broker for 5.5 years, and if we ever made claims like what I see on YouTube by some of these people, you would lose your license, probably subject us to some lawsuits or whatever. Some of what I see is very, very misleading, but that's the world that we live in. Very attractive because they promise riches beyond your wildest dreams and Lamborghinis and everything. all within a few days, maybe weeks. Anyway, having said that, what I would suggest, that's why I'm talking about going to the podcast site and listen to these podcasts. You will definitely get to know Darko extremely well, probably even better than his family knows him. He's very transparent, very honest, very human. So yeah, please do some due diligence before you invest. I've known Darko for about 15 years now, and he actually started here in the Coach's Corner, and I've seen the struggles he went through, but I've also watched him come out the other side to extremely consistent profitability for like over 9.5 years now, 8.5 of them as our lead coach. Okay, now something that I think is important is that we, you hear from other people who've joined our community and the experience that they've had. So folks, I'm going to bring on one of our members right now. We're not going to take a lot of time with this, but I really think it would be helpful for everybody to hear a little bit, so you can hear from this fellow directly, and maybe get a better and more clear idea of what's provided, what you can expect, and how it can lead to your own trading success, which is, the ultimate goal for all of you and the goal that we want to see you achieve. So without further ado, and a drum roll here, Wojciech, I'm going to find your name here and unmute you here. Just 1 second here.
I think I just unmuted myself, Rick.
Oh, you did? Okay, good. Yeah. This is Wojciech, everybody. He actually was, if you go to our podcast and you go to episode 75, which I've noted right here, you can hear a detailed interview with Wojciech that Darko did. It's very cool. Just listen to what he's been able to achieve and gone through. You're from Canada too, right, Wojciech?
Yeah, I live in Canada. I've lived here for 38 years. It's about 100 kilometers southwest of Toronto, which I think most people are familiar with. It's a small city called Cambridge. Cool.
Yeah, we have a few Canadians here. So anyway, I'm going to just, a few questions that might give you a sense of what things are about. So when you started getting going with the service, maybe just let everybody know how that affected your trading results, how long it took from when you started.
Yeah, sure, Vic, and thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. In terms of how long it took to affect my trading, I started out, just so the group knows, I actually resisted the urge to trade for the first 60 days after being a member, and that really wasn't by my own design. Part of it was just mostly I really wanted to follow Darko's recommendations right down to a T, without any deviation. So I'm not saying 60 days is what it would take for anyone, but based on the time I had, I wanted to go through all the content multiple times, which is what he recommends. And I took notes and just practiced all the techniques through chart exercises. And I would say probably at about 60 days for me is where I started to get really comfortable. And I would say I really started to understand the why behind the what we were doing. And in and around, I think the 60-day mark, I started taking live trades, but I only took trades that were identified in the PMAs. And from there, I also took Darko's recommendation as well, just to journal everything I was doing. And I've been doing that really meticulously for the last 15 months. And so inside that first 60 days, after I learned, familiarize myself with the content, start taking those live trades, after reviewing the journal, inside that first month of live trading, I could see the results and the benefits of what we were doing.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you something here. I'm so glad you said that. We always are telling everybody all the time, take your time, learn this properly, do it right. And for you to take that time, like you say, who knows if it's, 20, 30, 60 days, whatever it is, and to learn it before you get going, man, that is just the most golden piece of information that these, people can get. That Darko it constantly provides a ton of information, updates on trades all the time, which is going to be, of course, part of this alert service. What part of the service has been the most helpful for you in terms of becoming consistent? Was there timing or confidence or clarity, whatever?
Yeah, so honestly, I'm so familiar with the services because I've been a long time podcast listener as well of Darko's for like five, well, this is going on 6 years. So I would say really just all the content has benefited me in some way, shape, or form in becoming consistent, right down from the learning materials, to the PMAs and the podcast, really everything combined together. But, if you're asking me what I would say, Vic, is the biggest impact, is like the golden nugget really has to be the PMAs, because you get to see this, everything in play, like in a live market in advance, without any benefit of hindsight. And you begin to be amazed, like at least I was. I mean, how often the probabilities of what Darko is analyzing is in alignment with what happens, right? And I would say the big step for me is, I would say I do my own weekly PMAs, which take time, but then I compare them against Darko's, and then combining those two things, that's where I really noticed for myself anyways, that's where like I really started leveling up, I would say quickly, is doing my own analysis and then combining it against Darko's and learning that way.
Yeah. You're a perfect student, I got to tell you, just to listen to how you approach the whole thing and that. But the PMAs are definitely, I mean, that's probably the hallmark of the system, showing everything in advance, never after the fact. Darko hates hindsight trading. It kind of ruined his own his trading in his early stages, not seeing everything ahead of time. So that's awesome. So, but how's your?
And Dick, could I add one other thing?
Yeah, for sure.
There's just one other. I mean, I would just say, I don't think you can underscore just the impact of Darko as a person. Like I gotta, like his effort and energy and the passion that he brings in is really unique and extraordinary. And I would say, like, you can feel, at least I can feel how deeply he cares about his service. You can hear in his voice, like, and how much he cares about the clients. Like that for me as well. Like, just you just get drawn in towards it. I don't want to take away anything from what you're doing as well, Vic. It's just I'm more engaged in the long-term service. But Darko as a person is extraordinary.
There's a transition going on here, so you're not taking anything away from me. Darko's going to be this is going to be his baby here, one of these days, and we are purposely handing over the reins the way we have been for him. But you're quite right. His energy. I mean, I get tired listening to what he's doing. I can't believe it. I'm going, geez, man. What you're now trading with more structure, obviously, and not doing it alone. You're watching these PMAs. How has that changed your mindset or your life or that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I would say, so look, I would say I've been doing this with Coach Scorn for about 15 months now. I would say my mindset has really completely changed. I can tell you 15 months ago, I used to get really stressed out sitting in front of charts. I didn't really have a clear understanding of what to look for. I would put pressure on myself to find trades, even though like there was nothing there. And now I look at charts, and I touched on this in my podcast with Darko as well, in a very stress-free way. I know exactly what to look for, and the best thing, I really know what to do in all situations. So if we're in a winning position, I know what to do. If we're in a losing position, I know what to do. Yeah. And I think the biggest change for me is if I don't see anything there, I'm completely okay just to move on and then just not trade and not force anything, right? So that's been a big, I would say, change in my mindset. And then honestly, in terms of my life, Vic, I mean, I have a high level of confidence in myself now as a trader, and I say this with all humility. My goal was to get to a stage 4, and I know I've arrived here, but that's only step 1 in really a lifelong journey of trading. So, I've made some changes this year. I put a lot more capital into Forex this year. Why? Because I'm just confident I've been able to demonstrate to myself I can do things in a consistent and disciplined way. Yeah. And then over a long period of time, the probability is that, I'm going to be profitable.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And you kind of nailed it too. I think a lot of people open up their charts and they have no idea what they're looking for. And they're kind of, maybe I'll trade this one today, and maybe I'll do that one today. And they get into the trade, and then the psychology really sets in, because what do I do now? Where do I put my stop? Where should I take profit? When should I reduce risk? All of these kind of things that Darko covers impeccably in his PMAs. Just to wrap this up, and I really appreciate what you've said here. If someone, there's people listening here kind of deciding what they should do and all that, and that's great. That's exactly what they should be doing. Consider all their options here. But if someone isn't quite sure yet, based on your own experience, what would you tell them and where you are today?
Yeah, look, I mentioned I was still am a long time podcast listener of Darko's. I sat on the fence for 4 years listening to his podcast and not jumping and not finding a mentor or finding, something meaningful. Like I had a voice in my shoulder the entire, try this out.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, I was just tired of listening to that voice, and I kept feeling like I was letting myself down in some way. And I'm not sure if there are others out there that are feeling that way, but I just made a decision to jump in because truthfully, I felt that the pain of the regret was just becoming too much to bear. So, maybe that would be my advice is, just maybe just take a first step. There's that saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a first step. So maybe, try to take a little bit of a leap and try it for a month or two and see how it is and actually try to live it. But I would also just echo and just say, understand it's not easy, and it requires time and commitment. And I would say, I'll be the first to tell you, I underestimated how much time and effort it would take just to get to this spot.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, it's funny, people will be balking at putting in that, whatever it takes, in your case, 60 days or whatever it was to get up to speed. But, the thing is, it takes way longer than that to any other thing that you want to learn. You want to go to, university, or you want to learn some other way to make money independent of a job. It just takes a long time. I wish there was a way around it. We all do, but it's not the reality. And the other thing is, once you get over that hump, everything becomes so clear and easy, and there's none of the guesswork anymore, and you're just off to the races like you are at this point. And now you can, ramp it up at your own discretion, kind of thing. So listen, Wojciech, I really, really appreciate you, imparting your experience to everybody here. It's just awesome to hear from you. And by the way, I think that you're doing another follow-up podcast with Darko, are you not?
Yeah. Darko reached out to me, and I think we're going to do a follow-up. I'm not exactly sure when, but it'll be upcoming in the next couple months. And
awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And Vic, yeah, you're really welcome. And hopefully, some of the answers that I gave to some of these questions can be helpful to people.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Hey, if you ever made out to Vancouver, maybe let me know. And anybody else here too. If you get to Vancouver,
I will for sure. It's quite far for me. Like
we're on the other side.
Entire country apart, but
yeah, I know, a long ways off. But hey, who knows? And anybody else here who gets to Vancouver, drop us a line. We'd love to meet up and have a coffee or whatever. All right, thanks so much, Wojciech. Maybe you could mute your mic there.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, super good. So, and by the way, I'm going to show you one. I'm putting this one comment up here. I'm not going to add, I just happened to notice last Thursday. Nick, I think this was yours, actually, one of our members here. And believe me, if I posted all of the very nice comments about Darko's service, we'd be here for many, many hours. We get them all the time. This typifies the constant, just very kind comments that are posted. It's really a great community, I got to say. And he says, Darko Ali, this is pure gold. I admire your dedication to teach us all. I can't imagine that there is any coach out there providing this level of expertise. Thank you. Yeah, it's, I don't know. If you can find a coach that does what Darko does, I'd like to know who that is. I don't think so. Anyway, let's get her going here. This is the big announcement, obviously, is the alert service. The long-term trading officially transitioning to a full alert service, which is going to mean, all of the updates and monitoring by Darko, clear trades. The rules are going to be are all laid out, clear execution, all that kind of stuff. This is about getting everything in a structured way. So like what Wojciech was saying, when you look at a chart, you know what you're looking for, the structure that you're looking for, not winging it or taking things, identifying high odds setups. And it's all going to be about structuring your trading and structuring your life too, in a way that's more suitable. So having said all of that, let's get the man himself on here. Darko, have you got your mic unmuted, Darko? Here he comes.
Sure. Do you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we do. Wasn't that a nice transition by Wojciech, I really...
That was amazing, and thank you so much, Wojciech, for doing this with us. And I'm looking forward to record that follow-up
Yeah.
episode with you in the near future. So thank you so much for everything.
Yeah. I'm going to give
Uh,
you the screen here, Darko.
yeah, sure. Give me the screen, and I will. I assume that you guys hear me clearly and okay.
Yep. Everybody's good here. I can hear you fine.
Perfect, perfect. So I will be starting with this slide. First and foremost, yeah, thanks, Vic.
Okay.
Big warm welcome to this webinar. We are very happy to have you with us, and especially for those who are actually listening to this webinar later on, by watching the recording. So big warm welcome. My name is Darko. I'm the lead coach for the long-term service. And before I start, I want to thank Vic for giving me this opportunity. Just have in mind, guys, this is not my service. I'm just a small part of this service. Obviously, the clients are, bringing the quality of the service first and foremost, but none of this would be, possible if it wasn't for Vic. I was a student of his, a very annoying one, back in 2011. And I jumped system and services back and forth. And in November 2017, when no one else around the world believed in me, Vic and Vic Young was the only people out there that saw the potential in me and gave me this opportunity. So whatever, happens in here that's thanks to Vic and BJ. So without them, none of us would be here today. So thank you guys for the opportunity, and I will be forever grateful. Okay, so this is an important webinar. It's diverged a lot from, previous webinars. So I did, we will be, and by the way, before I almost forgot, shame on me, Forex Trading Coach podcast. I assume that all of you knows about it. For those who are not listening to every episode, you have to do that, because that will give you the right mindset of who I am, but also about the trading. And I know I have already pre-recorded tons of episodes where I'm doing those alone, just like back in the days when I'm, grabbing the mic and talking about something trading related. And I have lots of great topics that is actually waiting to be released. So make sure that you follow Forex Trading Coach podcast and listen to every episode. Just have in mind, I'm not doing the episode for myself. I'm doing it for you. So by listening to it, you will get, you will give yourself the right opportunity to actually have the right mindset, but also, benefit from all the, stuff that I'm actually talking about. And I'm talking about lots of, why people are losing, why are you chasing price, what is the remedy for it. I give you a problem, then I give you the solution, the remedy, and everything in between. So, and obviously from doing these podcast episodes, like randomly once a month, or maybe even once every 3 months, since September last year, I have been consistent by providing one episode each week. We usually release those on Mondays. So, since last September and probably for the rest of the year, we will be providing one podcast episode each week. So make sure you listen to it. And if you haven't rated my podcast yet, it would mean the world to me if you could rate it. I know that I currently have 385 rates, and hopefully more after this webinar. And also spread the word about my podcast to people around you, so we can be able to give back to the trading community. So why do most traders struggle with their trading? There are lots of reasons. We have been taking, the 4 most common ones. Well, jumping between strategies, systems, indicators, services, everything in between, the never-ending story, as you all remember from my podcast. And then, timing the market is one of the hardest thing. And I'm still like, after 20 years of doing this, timing the market is very challenging, and exiting the market is even more challenging. As you all know, I'm known for my honesty. I won't be BSing you. There is no hype. I'm not, promising you like 20, 30% a month. No. I'm telling the truth, okay? Timing the market is super hard. And, by being a struggling trader and, second guessing yourself, usually, and I did also in a podcast episode just about entries and exits, is when like you either enter too early because you are eager to pick the tops and the bottoms, and then you end up losing and you take the second trade, and now, you have a reduced loss because you earned, too late or too early again. And that's like a never-ending story. And as soon as you are in a trade, as soon as you see like 5 pips, 10 pips, 15 pips, you take it. And your losses are full losses. You are taking minus 80, minus 100, minus 120, plus 5, plus 10. Well, I don't care if you have a 90% win ratio, which is, by the way, impossible. You will still be down for the month because the win ratio don't tell you anything. The thing is that when you are winning, how much are you winning? And when you are losing, how much do you lose? Okay? Over trading is one of the most common trading related issue that's like ever known. I was guilty of this for 10 years. So, I know exactly what you are going through, and I know exactly what you need to do in order to turn things around for yourself. Okay? Most people out there, it's not a coincidence that 95% will never ever make it. I don't care who you are, how smart you are, what professions you are at your day job. You might be a doctor, a lawyer, having different companies and be super successful. That has nothing to do with trading, okay? When you have no clear structure to follow, you are just guessing. That's not trading, that's gambling, okay? So what does, traders really want? Well, first and foremost, clear entries and exits. That's to start with. When I enter a trade, you will understand and accept why that trade is working, because I'm telling you the institutional thinking behind every single trade. And by the way, this is not a signal service where I just, buy this or sell here. That's BS. Okay, I show you everything you need to know. Entry, stop loss, when to move your stop loss, when to risk reduce, where is your TP1, where is your TP2, and most importantly, with every trade that I pre-announce in advance, there will be a context explanation. That's more important because I want you to be an independent thinker. I don't want you to be dependent on my alert service or my coaching service. I give you wings to fly, and then it's up to you if you want to stay and be loyal with my service and give back to the trading community by helping newer clients. So clear entries, clear exits, confidence is what is most people lacking when they are trading. They don't have confidence because they don't know what they are doing. They are either copying someone else's system, which is completely fine, by the way, but then again, you need to understand why my trading system is working. Just like blindly following something, you will never get there. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually and you, if you have been listening to my podcast or being a member of my service, back in the days, I said, over my dead body, I will create an alert service. I don't know. Now, 9 years, 8.5 years later, I see the benefits of actually providing an alert service. Why? Because you can earn money while you are learning. So the fee that you are paying for the service, you should be able to make that money back. Are they guarantees? No. But based on stats, if you are copying my trade, you understand the system, you are following the instructions given, and I had barely one losing month a year, how is it possible for you to not make that money? It's impossible, right? And just have a simple, most people overcomplicate things, and that's another thing that human being does, both trading related, outside of trading. They think that the more complicated something is, then the better odds is it that trading approach system will be working. For trading, it's on the contrary. The simpler the rules to understand, the more money you will make in trading. That is facts, okay? And I am the living example of showing you that fact and prove it to you every single day. Okay. Something else that is super important is like rules that work under pressure. You can be calm and collected, but when things are going against you, you start second guessing yourself, you start doubting yourself, maybe widening your stop loss, something that I talk about in future podcast episodes, and then you take a bigger loss, and then you want to revenge trade it, make it up, double the risk. That's not trading, guys. So don't kid yourself. That's not, has nothing to do with trading. So the rules that I will be teaching you, and by the way, I have a written down game plan that you will have access to. Most people don't have a game plan. You don't need to, because once you join my service, I give you my game plan. And this game plan is, waterproof. It's like, everything you need to know, just like, I wouldn't say checklist. I don't like the word checklist, but this is a written down game plan for position trading, swing trading, day trading. Obviously I have another game plan for scalping and micro scalping. This is the trade manage part, limit to BE. What does that mean? I did recently a bonus video, risk management, risk exposure. What is a decisive candle action, trend trading, trading against the trend, entry techniques, exceptions, and some rules, and 6 questions to ask yourself before entering a trade. That game plan, mark my word, hold me accountable, that game plan alone will change your trading forever. Okay, mark my words. And especially when you are hearing me drilling that game plan week in, week out, and you see everything that I post is within my game plan, because obviously I'm, following the rules and, giving you tons of pending orders. Like, geez, for this, so far this year, we had more pending orders than we could handle, to be honest with you. At some point, it was a bit overwhelming having like 12, 14 pending orders, a week, okay, and all the trade management that goes with it. So the pairs that we are trading is the 29 pairs Forex trading, Forex pairs, and Monday's PMA are context. I'm telling you about context, which is super, super important. I point out pending orders. If anything changes in between, I let you know in the chat room, or I will be recording additional PMA that I will notify you in the chat room. So exact pair and direction, and I also tell you exactly where to enter and why, what to wait for. It's a structure-based stop loss, and this is actually something that Vic taught me for many, many years ago. That's what he calls natural stop. How many times have you entered a trade and then you either panic or you move your stop loss too early or something, and you get stopped out only to realize that price is going in your direction without you being in it? Well, been there, done that for 10 years. So if you don't relate to this issue, you're not a trader. Okay, so, and TP1, like, when is it okay to take something off? Not out of panic, not because I'm in profit and I want to make up for my previous losing trade and I take like those 10 pips, or no, because you never get broke by taking profit, right? Well, that's exactly what you get. When you take profit too soon without any system to follow, you will get broke, because you will have lots of tiny wins and big losses. So therefore, I have created strict rules exactly when to do what. It's, stands here. Okay, and I don't mind. I will actually I will be doing a podcast episode about my game plan, and I also will be saying in the podcast, if you want my game plan, send me an email. I will send it to you, because I don't mind. I don't have anything to hold back, because the game plan is useless unless someone teaches you exactly how to drill this on daily basis, and you have to see that in a long period of time, so it becomes a second nature for your brain to follow these rules. Okay, so to the trade management, you still need to go through the content to a certain point so you understand what is a leaving candle, when am I supposed to do what. So it's not like I'm telling you like every 5 microsecond in the chat room what to do. So sure, there are some general or very objective rules to trade manage, because let me tell you one thing, trade management and risk management are the holy grail of trading. If you are searching for any holy grail, out there, the trade management and the risk management is the one. And I have found, I would say, I know I'm biased, I don't want to hype anything, but this is the best trade management in the world, because it makes us money on monthly basis. Okay, this is super, super important. So to not mislead anyone, you still go through the content. You don't need to watch every single video. No, we will be, it will be very obvious which videos you need to do, to go through. That might take you a couple of weeks taking notes and taking this seriously. I usually ask my clients one question, okay? Are you interested in trading, or are you passionate? Okay? That's the question that you need to answer me. If you are interested in trading, this service don't suit you. Don't waste your time on money, okay? I only want to work with those who are passionate about trading and taking this debt seriously, because if you think I can make you a stage 4 trader in 60 minutes or 1 month or 2 months, no, that's not possible. I don't care how smart you are, okay? So education with every alert. This is way more important than the pending orders itself, because market context will be explained in great detail on Monday's PMA. Thursday's PMA are usually Q&A. People send in questions. I'm covering the trades that we are in, like I will be doing tomorrow, because tomorrow is Wednesday. I usually prepare, and then for Thursday's PMA is like, okay, we are in these trades. This is the TP1. This is the TP2. We have a leaving candle. We have this and that. And now you will get a feeling for, sure, the first month or so, it's an overwhelming phase. You have to take yourself through that. After that, I will sound like a broken record. And I have a very objective way of analyzing the market, okay? Because if I ask 100 traders, all 100 of them needs to say or see the exact same thing that I am seeing. There is no confusion about anything. There is no subjectivity in my trading whatsoever. I'm not saying it's 100% objective. It can never be, but I made it as objective as humanly possible for you to actually understand it and take yourself to stage 4 trading, and then understanding the artistic mindset needed in order to take yourself further, okay? And the time frame alignment, super, super important. The most important part of everything in here is you need to understand why my system is working. This is mandatory. You need to understand it. And it's very simple. It's structure based, because these structures are monitored by the market makers, by the institutionals. And you need to understand, and it's simple to understand, super simple to understand. Once you understand something, then it will be more easier for you to actually trade that trading system, because you understand it, okay? And obviously how to manage those trades properly. But like I said, guys, understanding what you are doing is way more important than everything else, okay? Because if you don't understand, you don't trade with conviction. As soon as you hit a losing streak or a couple of losses, you start second guessing yourself. You are doing all the trading related mental blocks that comes with trading, and that's something that I talk about almost every week, okay? So the PMAs are not only showing you pending orders, no, the reasons behind them, and also talk about the psychological part. And if something goes against us, I know, a couple of people might be getting nervous. They type in the chat room, Darko, what do you want me to do? I give them instructions exactly what to do. And after a while, you see, when things goes against you, you start looking what is happening in the market. Is structure changing? Like if you are a buyer, did sellers take control on your entry time frame while entering? If that's the case, we have a very specific objective way of trying to minimize that loss as humanly possible. And we did that successfully, for many years. This is not the first time. So who is this for then? Okay. You want structure and consistency, and that's something you lack, obviously, because you are still a struggling trader. And there's nothing, I'm not trying to offend you or anything. If you are not a consistent, profitable trader, then you are a struggling trader. That means you lack structure, you lack consistency, you lack having someone hold you accountable, you don't have a game plan. All that is solved by actually joining the service. And I've been doing this for 8 years and like 3-4 months, okay? The service has never, ever been this good before. And trust me, whatever I tell you, I walk my talk. I never BS anyone. So if I say something, that's the case, okay? So the service has never been this good. And now with the alert service feature that we are adding now you have a great opportunity to actually pay for the service at the same time, learning how to trade and becoming, consistent. I have several members that's actually sending me their live account. One guy did like $900 in like, less than a month. Some other guy made way more. Okay, and they don't want me to talk about this. Obviously, I'm not mentioning any name, but I wouldn't say this if it wasn't true. So yeah, you can follow rules because obviously I'm giving you rules, and whenever you break them, I will know, because if you take a losing trade, if you are down for the month and I'm up for the month, how come? Because we are taking the same trades. Are you taking trades in between or of boredom? That's on you, not me. Okay, so that could happening in the beginning, but after a while, when I'm drilling the discipline that that you must follow, and I am your trading coach. You are paying me to take the best version, out of you, so you become better than yesterday, and tomorrow it's the same thing. Like you develop, because I will tell you how to review your trades. I will tell you how to journal your trades, and you have to do these things. That's why if you are interested, you will get bored. You won't be doing this maybe for the first week or so, but then you will just go back to bad habits. The problem with people is they want different results. Like nobody wants to be struggling trader. The problem is year after year we are doing these webinars. People are hyped in January, all the new year resolutions. Then they end up, same struggle, same pain, same obstacle, different year. Okay? So let this be the year that you actually make that change that you owe yourself. Okay? So you owe a bit because you have been doing this for so long and you are not getting anywhere. And this is one of the once in a lifetime opportunity to actually, make the trading pay for your service. So, there are, it will don't cost you anything. And then at the same time, you are learning, because this was completely impossible 1 year ago. And you are tired of guessing back and forth. And who is it not for? I already said that. You are just interested. This sounds juicy, but you are not willing to do this. You will be just, taking the trades, and the trade goes against you because you're not following the rules. And you want like 50 trades a day, and, just like not serious about this. And you refuse to use stop losses, or you're widening it, you're breaking the rules, you're not taking clean losses. You are like just doing what you are doing for the past years, and you apply that on my service. It don't gonna work. So don't waste your time and money. Okay, and you are chasing shortcuts like, hey, pending orders, I need 20 more, or I need 10 more, and no, then the service is not for you. Okay, so what is the ultimate goal then? Less confusion within weeks. Yeah, sure, it's possible if you are serious. Skip all the killing hours by doing anything not useful. Manage your time properly. You take this dead seriously. Go through the content needed. Take more control over the trades, and confidence at some point will be replaces fear, and fear is what brings the worst out of you and you do the trading related mistakes, and the never ending cycle never ends. So let's just break that cycle and make this the last time you're actually joining a service. Give me 1 year of your time. I promise you, you will see something completely, you will be in a completely different place by the end of this year than you are today. Hold me accountable. Okay, I promise you, if you follow the instruction given, if you do your homework, you will get there. Okay, so the professional trading process is super important because you don't see me changing back and forth. I'm doing the same robotic, I would say boring approach. If you seek excitement, go and jump parachute somewhere else or do some intense outdoor activities. When you are trading, it should be boring. It should be like, okay, systematically follow the rules. There is no emotions. You are in a neutral state of mind. Don't take your emotions into trading. Leave it at the door before you enter the office. Okay? The bigger picture. And this is not about dependency. I don't want you to be dependent on me. Okay? I'm not, I'm not trying to chain you to be stuck with my service forever. It's actually all on the contrary. I don't know about any trading coaches out there that has been producing so many stage 4 traders for the past 8 years. No. And I will be honest with you, most of them leave. Okay, and that's okay. That's on you. If you don't want to stay after you become a stage 4 trader, it's okay. I won't be bothering you. Okay, but for the past 8 years, I've been working with, I have lost count, to be honest with you. So many people, come and gone, and most people are like, tire kickers. They are just like joining for 1 month, they quit, they come back, they quit, they come back, and then they wake up, they send me an email, they apologize. Okay, now I will start focusing. And then a year later, they send me an email, hey Darko, thank you so much. I wish I listened to you earlier. You have no idea how many messages. I'm still saving everything. Okay, how many messages I have received by people saying, I wish I listened. I wish I listened to the podcast recommendations. I wish I did this earlier. Now I've been wasting like year after year, and now finally I wake up and I regret everything I didn't do. Okay, so if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Okay, try just to continue doing this on your own and not getting anywhere. So it's about learning through the real trades, the process. The goal is making you independent. That's my goal. Okay, by seeing the exact same thing over and over again, you will at some point get there. Okay, and the rest is up to you. Yeah, and I'm not saying like, hey, if you fail, it's your fault. Well, if you have been with me 1 year and you don't see any results, or I completely wasted your time, please, and I'm saying this to my clients like on regular basis for 8 years now, send me an email, okay? Send me a text message. I will hook up with you on Telegram. You don't need to pay me anything. You will be explaining yourself, showing me how are you trading, or how you have been trading for the past years. What is that is not working? And obviously you don't need to wait for a year. If you have been with me like for 3-4 months and nothing has changed, well, we need to talk, okay? And how many people do you think has been sending me that message for the past 8 years and 4 months? Zero, okay? Zero. Trust me, if there was anyone telling me that I'm not getting anywhere, I would have told you that, okay, we had this and that. No one, zero, okay? So I will show you how the alert service works. Let me see if I can, let's see here, go back to my charts. I will be showing you pound Swissy. We took pound Swissy, I think it was like for some days ago. Where's pound Swissy? So, okay. What I do is, and obviously this is the long-term approach. I'm using the yearly chart combined with the monthly, weekly, The daily and the 4-hour is my entry time frame. Okay, we just got a new yearly candle. Okay, price is retracing back, and this yearly candle is bearish. So if that's the case, if we had a wild guess, what do you think this year will be doing? Well, we have specific rules. We are marking the closing price of the month, which is up in here. Let me just remove the lower line so we don't have any clutter. The closing price is marked, and obviously, okay, let's see here. My pen died. Oh, geez, I don't see my cursor. Geez, let me just give me one sec. I think I chose the wrong color.
It was working, Darko.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't see my cursor. The pen is white. No worries. Like if price goes up like this, okay, closing above the the closing price, and we also do some structured damage here, okay, then we will obviously regroup. Then price is probably heading down for further upside, but right now price is heading down. Okay, let's see here, erase all drawings, and I need my cursor back here. Perfect. For some reason my pen turned out white, so I didn't see it. No worries. So that trade were fairly simple. Okay, we have this weekly candle action. We are at monthly resistance. I think this was also a weekly level here, so it's an identical neckline. Price gets there, okay, and we waited for some structure damage. Do you see how these lows took out this structure, even this structure in here? Well, the rules are simple. Okay, the rules are simple. If I go to the swing trading, wait for a decisive weekly candle action, structure damage within that weekly candle action on a 4-hour time frame, does the context make sense? 618 fib. You know, I didn't come up with this for like 5 minutes ago. This has been our rule for years now. Okay, we had a decisive candle action and price continued dropping. Okay, now we have the structure damage. We draw the fib, and the 618 was the entry. Actually, it was somewhere in here, the 618 fib. And yeah, sure, you know, from time to time price has been very kind to us lately, and we do not expect a fill and then price drops like no tomorrow. This trade is I think I just scaled just before the webinar. I entered in a chat room. I think it was like 160 pips with front running and everything. And I will also show you a pending order that is actually happening right now. I canceled the pending order right now, but it will be re-put on Monday as a new pending order. Okay, because price is coming off into a monthly swing neckline. Okay, it's also a weekly swing neckline. This weekly swing neckline is slightly higher. Okay, and we definitely have a structured damage in here. And if the monthly candle closes bullish, now unfortunately this is like dropping way too hard. I would have seen this like, you know, a bit more higher. So obviously I need to find where this will be turning, going up and then dropping even more, because what is the previous yearly candle doing? Guys, this is not bullish. I told, like, go back and re-listen to the yearly top down I did the 1st of January. This is a hanging man. One of my 7 candlestick formations that I'm watching like a hawk, and these are life-changing. Okay, these 7 candlestick formations, those alone will make you, you know, take your trading to a completely different level. I promise you. Okay, so now we have a bearish engulfing. The previous yearly gave us a clue that, you know, this year for USD yen will probably, because we are dealing with probabilities, will be bearish. But we never know if price is actually, you know, breaching this level on a daily chart, maybe coming down and retesting this level, going further up. Well, no worries. We have even a stronger level up in here, which is also identical with the weekly. So I knew based on probabilities somewhere between this line and this line, I will see my structure damage. And when I see it, I know exactly what to do. And obviously, I will give you a full version within my PMAs without holding anything back, starting with the yearly chart for the bigger picture, okay? And then what to look for on a yearly chart. And then we will be working out ourselves, like, why do I use monthly and weekly? I will tell you everything to know about how to identify trend, pure support and resistance, key levels of support and resistance. When you look at a chart like this, there are necklines everywhere on a monthly, on a weekly, even more on a daily. Like, how do you know which neckline to trust? Because even I'm looking at my higher time frame, there are necklines everywhere. But throughout having a consistent rule, I'm showing you exactly which one to focus on, to disregard, and who is in control. Okay, this is the question that you need to ask yourself before entering any trade. Super, super important. And where is my I was wrong on this trade level? You need to, and this is mandatory, you need to have a level. Okay, so if I enter, like, I'm just making this up right now. Let's just say that we enter at the 50% fib. Okay, we have rules for everything. Okay, where is my line in the sand when price is telling me, Darko, you were wrong on this trade? And price could be jumping back and forth within my entry and that level. I couldn't care less. When price breaches this level, now buyers are in control. Do you honestly want to be shorting when buyers are in control? Because price is telling you right now who is in control. Okay, sellers are in control. Why? Because we see that this high is higher than this high. This low took out this structure. This is telling you that sellers are in control. So what do you want to be doing when sellers are in control, long or short? You will be shorting, right? And is this a rocket science? You don't understand and get this? No, this is super simple. We are trading market structures. We are not going against the trend unless we have evidence for it to go against the trend. And we have specific objective rules when to do that. Otherwise, we are trading with the trend, okay? So therefore, what is the important part to take away from this? In the pre-market analysis that I'm providing at least twice a day, I grab the mic, I go through all the pairs, 29 pairs. I'm telling you exactly what is happening on every time frame, what to see, what to look for. If I have a pending order, you will know everything about that pending order, why that is a pending order, who is in control, where is my line in the sand when I'm wrong on that trade level, and everything in between. So when you enter, you know exactly why, where, and what to do. And that is something that 95% don't have that strict game plan. And this is what I'm teaching you. At the same time, you are taking this trade. We had a decent amount of win trades. Obviously, the win trade is like, just because we had 80% last month, that doesn't mean that we will be having 80% next month. But I do know by the end of the month, if you are strictly only copying these trades, you know exactly how to trade manage them. You are following the instructions that is giving to you. You will make money by the end of each month. Yeah, sure. Historically speaking, once a month I have once a year I have a losing month. It's not a big deal. We could have 2 losing months. I couldn't care less, because I know by the end of the year I will average somewhere between 2 to 4%. Okay, some months like last year it was somewhere between maybe 1 to 2 or 1 to 3% on average. So far this year has been very, very good. Okay, despite that I happened to screw up some yen trades. We didn't lose, but we didn't make any money on those trades. But we are already in for 4 trades, and they are, doing good. Unless you don't have a question, like I said, this is once in a lifetime opportunity, and Vic will be talking about the pricing. The pricing will be changed. So this is a webinar special. So now you have this opportunity to do this. Join my service for 1 year. I promise you, you won't regret it, okay? Because just, you know, I'm super dedicated. You have access to me 24/7 in the chat room. Obviously, I won't be there 24/7. I need to sleep my 3 hours a day. But, you know, the service has never been this good thanks to the client. We have a, you know, fantastic group of people. I already made 25 episodes with them. They are smart people. They are, you know, kind. They are helpful. It's a great environment. You'll be chatting and talking with like-minded people. You know, that's it. I don't have more. I don't want to hype anything. So if, you know, if this sounds like this is something you have been, so, you know, searching for, you have been listening to my podcast, you know that I don't BS you. You know that I won't be like, you know, selling you a fake dream. I'm not telling you that you will be making a fortune. No, not in the first place. First and foremost, you need to learn, and then you apply the instructions. Along the way, you will see those results. Not in one day, not in 60 minutes, not in 1 month, but eventually they will come, okay? So my goal is to take as many traders as possible to stage 4 trading before the end of this year, 31st of December, 2026, is it, okay? Thanks, guys, so much for listening. I will be sticking around until the end of the webinar. If there are any questions, I will be more than happy to grab the mic and you give me a pair. I can tell you exactly what to do if you want, or if you have any trading related or coaching related questions, we will be answering that. So thank you so much for listening. I hope I didn't waste your time, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.
That was really, really good, Darko. Thank you so much. Let me know. You can see my screen now and my cursor. Yes, no, maybe so. Anybody? We can. Okay, great. Thanks, Nick. Okay. Let me, you know what, I'll just come right into the next slide here, which is the pricing here. I want to be, I got to talk about this a little bit here and be very, very clear and transparent about pricing because it's going to be changing, as Darko alluded to. It's going to be 5 to 25% increase across the board depending on the service. I want to talk about that. For this webinar, we're offering this pricing here on this Trade Alert Service. There's a link right here. Vic Young, maybe you could post that to everybody if you get a sec, if you're around there, if you wouldn't mind. And it's going to be done by February the 8th, and it will be done by February the 28th. Believe me, we're not offering this anymore. We've been extremely fair with our pricing compared to almost every other service out there. I don't know when the last time we ever increased our prices. I mean, they were certainly way higher than they used to, than they are now. But we actually, Darko and I were looking at, and we're looking at some services a few days ago. Like they can go like $250 a month for these things, and people pay them, and I going, wow, I'm not even close to what Darko's offering. And you know, honestly, we probably held our prices lower for longer than we maybe should have. But at this point, we just can't stay at these levels and still, you know, be expected to deliver the quality and the consistency that we're committed to, that Darko's committed to, you know, these 2 PMAs, this chat room and everything else. We also believe very, very strongly in rewarding long-term commitment. And Darko talked about this. This is not an overnight, you know, quick win like you might see on YouTube. It takes time, you know, repetition, discipline, time at the controls. Traders who commit longer term are the ones who actually stay the course and they work towards becoming consistently profitable. They're the ones who are going to see the rewards. Price increases that come up are going to be the smallest for long-term any long-term commitments. They're not going to be actually much. So, and we've done that on purpose. Listen, and you've just heard a bit of what Darko does here, but he puts in an enormous amount of work behind the scenes. You have no idea. Long days, his weekends, you know, constantly chart reviewing, ongoing video recordings, his PMAs, his social media, his private messages. I mean, I just can't even know. I don't know how he does it. And in his 8.5 years as our head coach, he's been profitable every single year, all documented through his PMA videos, following what he talks about in his PMA videos. And the other thing is too, that's pretty remarkable. He has never, ever missed a PMA video. Never. That's 8.5 years. I mean, I don't know anybody who does anything for the 8.5 years the same, but anyway. Here's the thing too, if you join at this rate, this webinar special rate, you're going to be grandfathered, as it says here, at that price for as long as you remain a member. So, you know, if you ever cancel or decide to come back later, totally cool, no problem. We're not here to, you know, try to trick somebody into staying a member forever. But if you do rejoin, it'll be at the newer, higher published rates, okay? Just so you know. This is just our way of being fair and transparent, rewarding commitment, protecting our longer-term members, and making sure that we can just continue to deliver the level of service and the coaching that's come to be expected. I mean, that's what it's all about here. You should also know that this trade alert service is for Darko's longer-term trading. It's not for the short-term trading. Short-term trading alert service would just be, it wouldn't work. It would be a nightmare. So, you know, it's for Darko's long-term service. And but what he teaches in the long-term service is identical for the way that we're looking for trades in the short-term service. By the way, here's something interesting for you. We have had, I don't know, tons and tons of trades in the long-term service. Somebody asked me how many trades per month. I don't know what the number is. That's irrelevant, by the way. We don't care how many trades a month. They have to be good setups or we don't take them. It could be 2 trades. It could be 15 trades. I mean, who knows? But we take what the market offers us. And the short-term service which is mostly scalping using a 15-minute chart entry, has been very few. I'm going to show you the prices here, and this is these webinar special prices. The swing trading service is $697 for a year, or the day trading is $697 for a year. I'm going to give you a very good piece of advice right now. If you're not consistently profitable or a stage 4 trader, this is what you want to join, the swing trading chat room. Learn what Darko teaches. You can apply it to any time frame you want. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just telling you, and if you want both services, again, you know, you'd want to be a stage 4 trader, a pretty good trader, be taking on both at the same, you know, $897 for a year. This $697 works out to $58 a month. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be getting cheaper than that. Okay, if I go to the next tab we have a 6-month tab up here. This will be gone after February the 8th. Guaranteed, there will be no more 6-month rate. It'll be monthly or yearly. Right now, it's $297 for 6 months. It works out to under $50 a month. For what Darko's putting in here, it's yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. But this will be no longer. You know, that'll be where they're at. And you have for either service. Again, I'm telling you, if you want to learn this, you can apply it to this. Anything, any time frame, you can try it to apply it to micro scalping, whatever you want. Or for both services, just the $497. And finally, if you just want monthly rate, right now it's $87 a month for either service, or $127 for the CC Pro. Okay, so I just wanted to say, let me just see if there's anything else I wanted to mention here. Yeah, actually, one of our members, Henry, he's been a member for a very long time with us, and really good man. He's a great guy. He's a short-term trader, actually. He trades, in fact, he trades a lot of the London close trade strategy, which is a whole other thing that's not anything to do with this webinar. But the point I want to make is that Henry posted in here a little while ago that it's very good to stay in the service because of the lonely business that trading is, and that you can, you know, always reach us by in our chat room if you have any issues and all that. We're always here to help. You know, we'll bend over backwards to help anybody. And I want to tell you one more thing here too. If you like, say you join and you can't log in or something, it's a non-trading related issue, please don't contact me or Darko. We can't help you. We have to forward that to our back office, to Vic Young, and he looks after that. So it could be, you know, payment problems, login troubles, something's not, or a link's not working, or whatever it is. Contact Vic Young at info@forexminder.com. That'll be the fastest way to get it resolved. Okay. Yeah, Henry just typed in here, I'm renewing it. He's just been such a dedicated member, and we really, really appreciate that, Henry. You've just been, yeah, solid. And he's a very, very good trader too. But he knows his lane. He sticks to what works for him, and that's it, you know. And so that's a very important thing to know. The recording is going to be available after probably a couple hours after we get this done. It's got to be rendered and go to webinar, and then we'll send it out to everybody. Darko, did you have anything else to add in here? Have I forgotten anything? Or Vic Young, did I forget anything? Anybody have a question here about anything?
Yeah, you know, I just give me 1 sec.
Sure.
You know, most people are trading prop firms. They have different challenges.
Oh, yeah.
They want to pass. Some people have like a $200,000 account funded trader. Well, let me tell you this. This is a great opportunity for you to pass those challenges, because you can tell me what challenges those are. And we have doing some, you know, podcast episodes about prop firms. So this is a great opportunity for you to actually, you know, pass those challenges and make yourself some money, because most people are just paying those fees and they are not making any money. They lose their account and then they open a new one, and all the money that you're actually paying for these, you know, one-time fee to join these prop firms, join one, and the amount of, you know, time and money you are spending in my service, it will pay you off, because I have several clients that's actually passing those challenges after joining my service. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for you to not only remake the fee that you are paying for Coach's Corner, you will also be passing your challenges and then make more money by, you know, being a funded trader. So there are several people who actually wants to open an account with a prop firm and start these challenges and make themselves some money. So that's another thing I forget to mention when I had the mic. So that's something that you should consider, because it will be fairly, I wouldn't say easy, but it's not a problem copying these trades, understanding things, like working for like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, going through the content, understanding my concept, and then copy these trades. Not only you will make money to pay back the CC fee, but also passing those challenges that you never done before, instead of like just blowing accounts after accounts after accounts, because that costs money as well. Some challenges cost like $1,000, maybe $1,500. Okay, by funding, like the more money you fund, the more is the cost of that fee. So how many prop firms challenges have you, you know, blown or failed so far? That is another reason for you to actually join the service, to pass those challenges. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Very good point. And actually, those podcasts I told you about, Darko has done several now with traders who are quite knowledgeable about prop firms, more than we are, and they're great to listen to. And I mean, like Darko says, an awesome opportunity to maybe get involved with a prop firm and get a funded account, and the opportunities are quite big. You know, if you want to become like a real professional, you know, trader and generating revenue consistently, that's another option as well. So yeah, that's super good for that. What else am I missing here? Nick just asked here, will Darko post the alerts in the PMA videos? Thanks for asking that, Nick. Yes, he will. They'll be in the PMA videos. He will also update them sometimes in the chat room, okay? Because sometimes what happens will be he'll see something, you know, that is changing. He might not be at his desk, at his office, at his computer, but he'll be on his cell phone, and so he'll update that as well in the chat room. We are actually looking at another way to post them, so don't hold me to this, but I think we're looking at another way to try to have these posted to a site so that you can just log in and see whatever's going on. You don't have to go into the chat room. Sometimes there's a lot of chats in the chat room, so you have to go through them to make sure that if Darko has posted something, just look at all of Darko's comments and see if he's updated any of the trades or maybe even posted a new trade, okay? So yeah, is there any more questions? Anybody? Geez, thanks for hanging out. I think most of the, I'm just looking at most of the people stayed in here the whole time, so I really appreciate that. The service starts right now, Nico, and it's really what it is. Somebody asked about, is this a new service? It's going to be a continuation of the service that Darko has already been providing, but it's going to have the full analysis and everything for people who are looking for that, and all of the updates very consistently. I think, like I say, we might look at doing to a better, a more another way of posting them. Just leave that with us for now. By the way, another thing I wanted to say too is that if you join, let's go back to this for 1 second here. Whoops, go back to here. Did I go back? Yeah. If you join at any one of these, like say you join monthly rate here for this, and you're going, I like the service, I like the guy, he's doing a good job, blah, blah, and you want to switch to a yearly rate, contact Vic Young at our back office right here at the Forex Mentor, info@forexmentor.com, and he can upgrade you, and will apply this. You have to do this within the first month though, before the first month expires, and he will upgrade you to the yearly rate. Whoops, did that wrong. Yeah, and apply that first month's payment to the yearly rate. Okay. What am I forgetting here? And yeah, the service is now. The service is on right now. I'm currently in 6 months swing trade service. Do I need to switch to yearly, or will I remain in 6 months until cancel? What it will do is that, Jagtar, thanks for asking the question. It will stay as 6 months. You have to let the back office know if you want to upgrade to yearly, or it will just renew at 6 months. Okay. Yeah. Let me see here. When does this? Oh yeah, no, we already got that one here. I still have a few months left on my yearly membership. What happens if I sign up now again to hold that rate? Oh, no worries, Daniel. You know what? You've been with us for a while, so contact the back office. Okay, Vic Young will look after that for you. Nico says, thank you, Darko and Vic, for a fantastic service. I've been a member for years, but this year I want to become a stage 4. Oh, that's so good to hear, Nico. I really love that enthusiasm and kind of resetting your goals and everything. And thank you, Wojciech, as well. Really appreciate him. He's just an inspiration to everybody. Okay, take care, Daniel. See you later. All right, well, listen, I think we'll cap it at that. And if anybody has any further questions after we sign off here, just send me an email, and I'll get back to you for sure. All right. Thank you, Darko. You did such a great job. We really appreciate it. Everything you're doing. It's just outstanding. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Vic, and thanks, Vijay, for the recording, and obviously thank the audience for listening, and hopefully I will see you in class. So thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yeah, and thank you, Vic Young, as well. He's the behind the scenes guy that nobody sees, but he really looks after everything well for all of us. We really appreciate that too. Thanks again, everybody. Take care.